All right, welcome to another Tony Too Tough video. You can hear that. It's my neighbor's pigs and turkeys. They're squealing. I have no idea why. Anyways, welcome to my world. Anyways, we're here for another Tony Too Tough video, and here's what we're doing. The breakdown is really, really simple. Here's the tools: a Baco Laplander, a Baco knife, right? So it's like a more, actually, you know what? No, this is not the Baco. This one's the more companion. It's awesome. 20, less than 20 bucks. We got a piece of wood that I harvested today from my backyard. Right now, it was kind of wet, so I put it in the I put it in the oven for an hour at 350, and it's good. I didn't want to wait. I'm impatient. ADD. It's kicking in. I want to start a fire. Anyways, next on the list, I've got my Tony Too Tough hand drill. Right, I still got plenty of use left in this, and I don't know if it'll focus on it, but it says my scrub oak I found in October of last year. And I still got some length. Now, it's supposed to be the hang 10 sign, right? So I'm within reason, within reach at least, right? And then you got to have something to catch the ember on. Tony Too Tough, baby. Anyways, working on a logo. So yeah, welcome to the journey. And of course, my favorite bow. I adjust it right here, depending on my just depending on the spindle I'm using, right? I could either loosen it up, add it up, and just crank it down and we're good. At the end, it's just a knot at the end, dude. Like an overhand knot. Nothing fancy. Literally an overhand, couple of them. Didn't need to get fancy. And it's also, you know what else it does? It gets your spindle when it runs away from you. Ta-da! Just like that. Anyways, so, all right. I said all that to tell you this. I want to start a fire. Now, I had a fail this week, and it was from a piece of wood that I had piece of wood I found when I was taking the dog for a walk. It's a piece of pine, and I thought it might have been just a little too much degraded, right? So I had some, wormwood in it. It was just, but I could still find a chunk in there that I could, get a little ember. And what I found out was that the dust came up clumpy. It clumped and it wouldn't catch. I made some black dust, it just wouldn't catch. I even later took the dust away, and I made like 3 or 4 holes on that board, the best I could find, right? And I got dust, but no fire, not even an ember. So if anybody out there knows about what makes it clumpy, let me know in the comment section because I'm gonna have to look it up or figure it out. But anyways, it's part of the journey. You get some fails. So speaking of fails, let's talk about this one. I did burn in earlier. It was a good burn in too. Came out nice and clean. Again, I dried this in my oven, so let's just be clear, it's bone dry. But I was doing my saw mark, right, and I was chopping in it with a knife, and I was batoning it like an idiot because I was going too quick. There it is. It's going too quick, and the reality of it is that I made a mistake. Boom, and I took off a chunk. Now I have to make it from this one. So I burned it in already. I saved us the hassle with that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I am going to go ahead and get this carved in. So I think I'm going to work. So I can choose either side. I can get this side or this side. I'm going to go with this side. And it's a little thick, but I think it's going to be okay. So thanks for being a part of this, guys. This is part of this is the laborious part. It's not the sexy part. It's not getting a fire, getting an ember blowing into flames, but it's all this preparation that happens prior to this. And when you're putting these things together, each one is unique, man. This is I'm off of the store-bought wood now, right? So now it's just whatever I can find. And that was the entire goal. The goal was to get to a spot where I used 8 foot of cedar. I mean, I might have not used all 8 because I still have a little board or 2 left. I mean, I sure used 6 foot of it, 4 at least. I burnt holes up and down that thing, and I learned my technique from that. So, and then I learned how to, what works with a notch, what doesn't. And thank you, Corporal Sean Kelly. I appreciate you from Corporal's Corner. Man, I watch your videos over and over, and you make it look amazingly easy. And when you get the right technique, it actually isn't as difficult as it has to be. It's actually easier. When you have the right form and technique, it goes pretty quick. So, anyways, right now I'm just making some score lines. I'm scoring some lines in here because this is where I want my saw to go into. I'm going to use my Baco Laplander. So basically, I just scored it. You can't really see that well, but let me get busy. Let me get that done. So, okay. I'll start off with the Baco. I'll make my cuts, and then I'll clean it up with my Scandinavian grind on the More Companion. So, by the way, I love this thing so much, I bought 2. This one had a fail spot right here, and it's in the depress button spot. It broke, but I glued it back in, so it still works. So, but I bought a second one for another kit, just because. And that actually came with a Baco blade, which was really cool, and I really liked that. It was interesting. Anyways, let me carve this up here, and let me get a nice, decent notch. And I'm going to flare out the back piece. See, here's the part I'll be drilling into, and I went in about I don't know, a quarter. Anyways, it's enough for the dust to fall. But at the bottom, the corporal taught me this thing. He's like, you want to leave a little, you want to kind of widen this part out a little bit so that airflow can get in there. And you don't have to be much. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it has to be some, because you want that ember to have plenty of oxygen. Then he also showed me this little technique, because you really want the dust to be able to fall into that notch and fill that notch up, right? That's what you want. So you want to have a clearance there. So use the spine of your blade and go in there and make sure there's nothing obstructing where that dust can fall, right? And that's going to be the key. Now listen, we can do all this crap. I can go through every single piece of motion here and still not get an ember, let alone a fire, right? But you know what? We're going to attempt it, and that's what we do, because it's fun. It's a blast. Anyways, so we make sure we got all of our parts. I got my bow right here. I got my hang 10 spindle, scrub oak. I got my bearing block right here, piece of fat wood. I got my fireboard. I got my fire catch. So, and I really hope the audio is working on this one, because I'll tell you, I made so many videos, and a couple I didn't check the audio on. Most I do, but sometimes these things, it's a cheap Amazon thing, dude. So anyways, it's what I have for right now, and that'll work. Let's move this out of the way, because I don't want it to be caught. And ladies and gentlemen, we will soon have a fire, or an ember at least. And I think that's the goal. So, let me I'm getting old. I need something for my knee. I don't care who you are, man. It's brutal when you're doing a few of these. So, can you see that? I think you can. Let me move this down a little bit. There we go. I think that's going to be good. You don't have to look at my ugly mug, and we're golden. Okay. I can have it facing you, but then I'd have to awkwardly put my foot. Anyways, so I'm going to be just filling up the notch right now with some dust. I don't have to kill it right now. I don't have to go hog wild. I don't have to go crazy. I usually do this barefooted. I'll be doing it with my boot today. So I feel like I have more control when I'm barefooted. But then again, I live my life barefooted when I can. It's just really cold, and I've been out tromping in the woods today. So, my woods, my backyard, but it's woody. So, anyways, here goes. The key. Let's get back. Sorry, excuse me. The key is to make this one straight line, in line with my bearing block, locked into my shin. This is all locked in place, lined up with my shoulder. All of this should be one. And then I'm going to put down some pressure once I get this going, get this thing started. All right. And again, I'm just going to be, it'll warm up. I'm just going to be filling up this notch with some dust. I don't have to kill it right now. I'm just going to get the board warmed up, get my notch filled. Just taking it easy. Let me give it some. Yes, sir. We got a coal. Nice. Catch your breath, Tony. Tony too tough. There we go. All right. That was a little chunky in there too. But anyways, that's what it looks like after the fact. So what we have, let's get you closed in on that. Can you see that? Look at that cherry. There we go. Thanks. Hope you're not dizzy from me moving you around like that. You see, I haven't done anything with it. We got a nice big fat cherry. Cool. So, I don't have anything to blow it into flame with. I used it today on my other video. So, and I didn't make another one. And I don't have to. I can blow that into flame. That is a big fat coal. Done it 1,000 times. Well, maybe not 1,000 times. I'm exaggerating. I've done it enough to know that I can do it. So, that's because that's a whole nother part of the preparation. It really is. The part of the preparation is prepare. Now, shit, now you got a coal. What do you do with it, right? Now you got to put that into a tinder bundle, and hopefully you did that. You prepared it correctly to receive that offering. It's been a minute, so I'm still slightly catching my breath, but I think I put an extra 20 extra pumps in there just to make sure it was going to catch. But again, I dried this today. I could have sat and waited, but I didn't want to. I was impatient. I dried it. And you know what? I think Utsi the fireman, he had probably dried his wood by the fire when he made one. So I just happened to use an appliance to get it done as a modern day caveman would. So anyways, man, this thing's still kicking, boss. That coal. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? And the cool thing about this is you see that pitch that's on that spindle? That's all pine pitch because it came from this. It came from this. You can see I drilled a hole right through it. I see you. And then on the other side, I got a few in there. I carved a Tony too tough. I actually emblazoned it with with a wood burner. So that's burn in. Anyways, that's it. Go on. Get your dirt on. Okay, if you got to go in your backyard, your back patio, do something. Get off the couch and play. Go on now. Now get.